One guy was losing, and he wasn't very happy. But he was in a hand, and everyone was talking. But he looked at me and he said, "Shut up." So I said, "I'm not gonna shut up. Like, what are you saying? Shut up, man." And he said, he just started shouting, "Can you shut up?" He said the guy I was talking to was not in the hand, and he was facing an all-in. So it was completely irrelevant. Everyone was talking. I was talking to the guy. He said, "You're telling him about my hand." I said, "You're all in. Not telling anyone about your hand doesn't make a difference." And then he just lost his head basically and walked around the table, started jumping up and down in front of me, putting his fist like towards my face, going, like, "I'll punch you out of this." So I said, I said, "Look at you, you're jumping up and down like a monkey. Go back in the zoo where you belong." Because he was jumping up and down like a monkey. So I said, you look like a monkey, you behave like that, and probably you should belong in a zoo. But because he wasn't white, they somehow claimed that was racist. And I said, if he was white and I called him a monkey, would you have said I was being racist? And they said no. I said, therefore you're being racist because you're the one who's saying that dark-skinned people look like monkeys, not me. I'm calling a monkey because anyone can behave like a monkey because it's an animal. If I called him a snake, would that have been racist, the darker guy? And they said no. I don't know, for me, I always feel like I just have my way on the table. No, I'm not. It's not that I'm not questioning myself. It's that others, they get very, like, they seem to have a lot of fear, actual fear of being wrong. Okay, I was playing for like 2 years, didn't go to a class of uni really. In the first year I did, in the second year, I already knew I didn't really want to go to uni anyway. So just played poker mostly. But it wasn't just like playing. I was like trying to learn very, very fast how to play. So that's why people get like attached to something, or when you enjoy it, when you're actually learning how to get better and you're not just playing. It's like all these computer games people make, like World of Warcraft. There's no skill. The only thing you do is play longer, but you're accumulating experience. So the more you get in something, the more you're invested. You obviously also feel that like you're good at it. Everyone who plays thinks that they have potentially are able to be the best, whilst in their table anyway. And of course, everybody is wrong because you're only as good as how you play on the day. You'll see sometimes very good players from high stakes games coming down to a low stakes game and throwing loads of money away because they're just having a bit of fun, But on that table, he is then the worst player. Then as you get older, it just came up here now and again, More people just started playing, You just start playing more, and then it was on the YouTube, you could watch high stakes poker. So you'd watch that, and then you just want to play. After watching, you want to play. It's like watching football. It wasn't like because you want to be on TV. You're just seeing people play something makes you think, and then you want to go play and try for yourself type of thing. I've played around a few places as well, official and non-official. But if you play like a home game, say in UK, or a home game in, somewhere in the Middle East or something, then things happen according to that culture. I can give you a few examples. People in a game I've played in, they give tips to each other, to the dealer, but it's a self-deal. You understand? It's a self-deal. But they tip the dealer, and the dealer will ask if the guy doesn't tip. And then comes to you and you say, look, why are we tipping? We're playing against each other, They're like, no, you give to me, I'll give to you. It's just part of the thing that's there in the culture, they do it. And then there's obviously all the wild things that can happen in a non-supervised environment. It depends how you feel about danger. It's like you can't go around feeling worried about what's going to happen, but then when things happen, it just happens. What are you going to do about it? Oh, it's totally different. But then it always goes through a phase, like every poker game. It starts with everyone playing like King 3 and 10 deuce, and every hand, every card. No, it's 3 cards coming, you don't know what's going to come. And then even if you have the same home game, and then slowly one of them will read a book without telling anyone. start cleaning up. Some of them will find out that he's read a book or seen something, and then they'll learn, and the others will just copy what the good guy is doing, and they'll slowly get better. And then it evolves. It always evolves. But there are still certain things which are only to their culture, because poker is a lot of emotion. A lot of people bring emotion, and their emotions are expressed differently because of different culture, and that expresses itself in larger bets or smaller bets, or like more bluffs or less bluffs. Like if you have a sort of more like testosterone culture or aggressive culture, you're probably going to see less people willing to fold. No, it's like they attach their ego to it. Like, you're not going to bluff me, you know? Like, that's basically what it is. That it's mostly just ego. Yeah, obviously, like, let's take some of the nations: Scandinavia, uh, Middle Eastern, Russians. The actual amount they bet and way they play, but the behavior on the table, is very much like the way when they bet, when they come back, or like that. So when you get a lot of that in one room, it obviously influences it. I've been in games where people do call just because they want to. They want to see cards. They refuse for you to push them out after it's been many bets. So it's like, I bet, I raise, I raise, I raise, and then they'll put it in, and the guy will call, and then he'll show his cards, and he's got absolutely nothing. And they go, "Why did you call?" And he goes, "Because I had already done 4, and I wasn't going to let him push me off." It's emotion. It's not. There is a reason behind emotion. It's just not related to the game. No, it's like, I guess in all society, people are usually in some level, in some small way, whether they realize it or not, competing for a type of status, or the type of relationship that they're going to have with the other person. And then when you do sports, it's concentrated. Like, it's showing what they're doing. There's no hiding. They're doing it to win, to beat the other person, And a lot of people think poker is a game of looking good and not winning, because all they see of poker is in films and movie stars and like doing crazy stuff and hitting. So when they first play or when they go to play, they have the image that as long as you look good, you win. That's what their subconscious is telling them. I can't think of any other reason why someone would purposefully give their money away, except that they've got something to prove. Why would some of these people would skive a debt they owe? Like, not pay a debt they owe for like a year because they're arguing with a guy for about £3, but then they'll put like £700 in on nothing. Why? The money is, and they know that sometimes they know that they're going to lose. Right, so why? You have to, I don't know if it sounds deep, but you have to think about it. Why are they doing that? It's not about winning. They want to win in the game that they're playing and what they think they're playing, which is, they think it's about sort of looking good. I'll give you an example. A lot of people call trying to hit cards when they know that they're playing bad, basic poker. They're playing bad. It's not just because they like the thrill of gambling. Because it's what they like is when they hit and they show everyone, and everyone's like, "Oh, like, I can't believe you did that." They want to look good. If you don't have that desire, I find it hard to believe that you're going to do that. And think about the people who don't do that. Think about how they behave. They're usually quite a lot more sort of reserved. It depends on the game. So you can't say, do you enjoy poker? It's like saying, do you enjoy playing football? Yes, with people who are able to play good. And there's different. It depends on the game. Poker, like, play poker for different reasons now. Actually, kind of, there's like a same reason and then reasons which change. So, like, obviously, I still enjoy the game, playing the game, but then reasons for playing change. Depends on your financial status, I guess. I like playing well, but I like playing interesting hands, basically. It's more, I like getting into a deep game and making it a very, like, psychological game and then playing. So I don't really feel satisfied when I win in the first hour if I win, say the first half an hour if I win a lot. I like playing when there's a big background to the game, you know? Because then I feel that's when the real skill comes in. That's fun. When you start playing well and like making everything happen to your arrangement, and then sometimes people don't know, then that's fun, you know. And you're making money. And also, it's not just about money. Like, you learn the places it took you, you know, the people you meet, like the crazy thing. And you can apply things that you learn from poker into all everyday life, especially like financial things, business things, social things, you know, almost everything. Something which people should know is there is no such thing as gambling, technically. If there is such thing as gambling, here's my issue with the idea of gambling. If there is such thing as gambling, then tell me what is not gambling. See what I'm saying? By the technical terms of gambling, because when they say poker is gambling, or if they say like betting on horses is gambling, if somebody wins consistently, they then accept it's no longer gambling because there is an edge. Then you say, he's not gambling. Is the casino gambling? Like, is the casino gambling? That's what I'm asking you. Do they gamble or do they make consistent money? But they only say it's gambling when they believe in that there's no skill factor, that there's you can't have an edge. That's what it means, gambling. I guess, in my mind, that's what gambling means. To say poker is gambling is to say that everything is gambling. In my mind, you can't differentiate between the two. Well, if you work in a job, they'll say, no, I don't gamble, I work. Say, okay, you work in your job, you do a job for, say, a month, and then you expect to be paid by the end of the month. You don't know that you're going to be paid. Real life is a game. Actual life is not a game. There are rules, but there's a lot of rules. It's kind of open. So a game is just putting something specific, and then people compete at how good they can be at that specific rules in life. You know, you have to follow those rules so you can see the difference in ability of people. You get what I'm saying? Life is too broad. Like, if you say this guy's better than this guy, you can say, but why do you say that? Maybe he wants to do this or he wants to do that. Why do deers lock horns? And why do they have rules when they do it? They know who's won by a set of rules, like who's pushed the one further or who's back down. I'm saying people can say things like, you know, I play poker because I like the maths and I like this and I like that. But ultimately, you're playing poker. You know what I mean? If you like maths, you could do maths. If you like the thrill you get from poker, you could be doing something. The fact is you're playing poker. That is the fact that you have to go by. And you are competing. That's like the most simplest version of why I would say people play poker. A lot of people play poker for different reasons, obviously. I like outthinking people. It's like playing, why do people play chess? It's in that, not outthinking people, like taking their money. I mean, like, when you play chess, why do people get a buzz out of playing chess? When they know that mentally they've overcome someone. It's a mental game. It's not a physical game. Like, I know people who play poker just for social. They play as, like, you know, poker night, you know? Get that everywhere. Drinks and like that. Usually when someone says someone's addicted, it's because they're losing. If someone's winning, they don't say addicted. Most people wouldn't say addicted. Addiction means you cannot stop, or that you'll get withdrawals if you do stop. That's why when someone's like bad at poker, and they know that they're bad, and they know that they're going to lose, and then they keep playing, then I guess you could say that they're addicted. Because no one really enjoys losing unless they're addicted to losing. You know, like some people want to lose. They like the self-hatred, self-pity feeling. That's true. It's a type of depression. Like, if you, if you get angry at yourself for whatever reason, or you see yourself in a lower value, you've seen people come in, you know, just like looking really down, like, I call them pigeon feeders. You know, the people in the park feeding the pigeons? Because all the people at the table is the pigeons, you know? They don't really care about the person. Everyone can see that, except the woman with all the like seeds all over her, like throwing seeds everywhere, feeding the pigeons. Like, these are my pigeons and they love me. You see what I mean? Wants to feed everyone because they feel unworthy or type. But then there are people who never don't realize that they're not good, and then they keep playing. That's kind of an addiction, but it's not really an addiction. It's like a type of stupidity, I guess. Non-realization. But I guess maybe they just justify it. They don't want to admit that they're not good because they want to justify their addiction. But a lot of this addiction stuff is overhyped. People aren't addicted. Very few people are actually addicted to playing poker. People get addicted to killing boredom, If you don't have anything else to kill your boredom, you're going to do the one thing that kills your boredom. A lot of people don't have much to do. What are they going to do? And they can make money doing it. So it automatically trumps a lot of pastimes, especially if you're going to learn something. A lot of people don't have money and times are tough. And people say, I'm going to learn something new. And they see something which it's a skill, and they see people making millions, and everyone thinks, I can do this. I'm smarter than everyone else. Who are these people? I'm smarter than everyone else. And they completely overlook the fact that a lot of it is just playing. You have to just play to learn. Very seldom met anyone who thinks they're bad at poker. It's very rare people actually say they're bad at poker. I'm a destroyer. No, honestly, when I play, I feel really, sometimes it bites you, obviously, but I feel very confident in what I'm thinking. My weakness is just wanting to see the cards, But I know that I'm not in the normal group of people. So I've gone on winning streaks before. I've allowed myself to do it. I know how to do it, and then I get bored of things happening the same way all the time in life. No, I don't become a pigeon feeder. It's not. I like basically when I play, I love to put people out of their comfort zone. I enjoy that, And I also like detecting like loopholes in the game. There are certain times when you can actually pick certain spots where it's going to get through. Like, what you're doing it's such a nice feeling as well, because a lot of the time when you bluff, even if you're not showing it, you are feeling like, just fold, fold, dude. Sometimes you start thinking, is he going to fold? You start wondering, okay, what did he have? What happened? But there are times when you see the guy acting, and his acting, he's going to fold as well, and you're sitting there comfortably, like, yep. Or a lot of people's style is they bluff. They think, now I'll bluff, It's like a mouse coming out of a hole. Like, there's no one around now. Okay, now I'll receive cheese. And that's a good strategy. But what's going on in my mind is like a horse, and I'm trying to hold it back, and it wants to bluff every hand. I'm thinking to win every hand. I want to win every hand. That's the greed that I have when I'm playing poker. But you have fun as well. You're getting a lot of action, basically. When you hit cards, you get a lot of action. I'm a pretty crazy person anyway. I don't think I have that many tells. I can't read myself. I don't know how I'm feeling. I'm just... So I don't get worried really about people. I feel like if someone reads me, I'll notice that they've read me, and I'll use that information the next time. So you could just keep mixing it. And then with that style of play, like a lot of aggression, I actually, sometimes I bluff knowing the person's going to call me. I think, look, there's a chance he'll fold. And if he doesn't fold, I'll show him my rubbish. There's a lot you can do by bluffing, especially online, by the way. When a lot of people hit and run online, they quit. But when you're playing heads up, if you do a lot of dodgy things in the beginning, and they've never played you before, they associate what's happened with all the other times they played someone, and that's happened, and how that guy played. And usually the guy has played bad or played in a certain style. If you understand that, you behave like that, and only in a short while, and then you go tak tak tak, and you just completely change. They don't see it coming, Yeah, but I can't take it anymore online. It's like playing against machinery, because most of the people online are now, it's like their job, and they play by maths with all the software and everything. You have to play like them as just a better machine. You're not a better person. You're just a better machine online. There's limited information. It's like, you only have the time in which they take, the amount they bet, and then previous things that you've seen based on them, which is just all numbers. Ultimately, it's stats. And then you have some feeling a little bit, like with human psychology, you can say, I think he's, you guess, like, I think he's doing this now. But ultimately, that's all you have. So you have to become a machine in those qualities. That's what a machine is, like a focus on few things. You know what I mean? But in person, anything can happen. You can use anything. You can do anything. That's real world. I think ultimately there's too much money in the game for it not to be controlled by basically top powers in the world or whatever, let's say a government. They're not going to allow such a huge economy just be independent. It doesn't work like that. And I think, if you look at certain things, there are certain dodgy-ish things that go on a little bit in poker, like with Full Tilt. And then Full Tilt actually got bought out by Pokerstars. So it's consolidation already right there of a lot of players into one thing. And then Pokerstars hosts most and sponsors most of the tournaments. And Pokerstars has even its own clubs. And you can slowly see one thing just sort of taking over like a business, And because a lot of people were making mad money out of it. Like these random poker players had like $1 billion company for Full Tilt. It's not a joke. What I was saying is Full Tilt was what a few poker players who had no money, basically, not from a high elite or social standing, suddenly had the ability to make billions, what seems like trillions. It's just endless money. It's just a software on the internet which costs nothing to run. Just endless money, basically. And I have a hard time believing that such people are just left alone to go about their business. You know what I mean? If you are a leader somewhere, do you allow other people to establish themselves as a leader? So that's the basic reality. I'm not saying I know anything. It's just speculation because it seems to be. If you've seen these examples of stuff like this happening elsewhere, and then the interview with Howard Leder was extremely shady. He just looked like he was taking the hit, and I think that he kind of knew that. It seems like the guy who went in sabotaged the company. Basically, there's no way you can not know where money is going. It doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? Accountants laugh when they hear such stories, like $170 million has gone missing. It's not a cartoon. You know what I mean? It's not that easy to move 170 or however much was missing. It's a joke. They sabotage it, and then Pokerstars comes and buys it up. All that debt. Just think about it. All that debt they bought up, and they must have seen it as an investment. I believe everything that's written on the internet. I believe things that make sense. Doesn't matter if it comes on the internet or if it's written on the floor. Doesn't make a difference, does it? I think it's gonna stay pretty much the same for quite a long time. Because it's one of those things. How else do you improve like a table environment? They've tried doing this electronic stuff. It's not, people don't like that. And the whole idea, which a lot of people who don't play poker have with poker, is the romantic, again, like the James Bond type, sitting down, like looking good. And those are the people that they want to attract, so they'll keep it in that theme, that like trying to keep it old school. I could even envision like poker room looking the same now in a really futuristic world. You know what I mean? And they come out and everything's moved on except poker. You know what I mean? The same people as well. The same guys. Having the same arguments, It's like in 10 years, if I'm out somewhere and someone's like, do you want to play some poker? I'll say yes. It's like that. It's not like, am I planning to play? It's nothing like that. You know? Do you know what I mean? I think it's going to be more, so you're going to see more structured and like more this and that. And they're going to make more of a scene out of it and more like trying to make the players more celebrity and stuff like that. If it goes forward, it will become like a very, that type thing. And I think obviously that it will change in society because people who started, there's a lot of people who play and a lot of people who watch it, or whatever, younger generation and older generation. So imagine in 20 years' time how many more people there will be who like grew up playing. Now you have the younger generation and older generation. But when a full younger generation goes up into an older generation and a new younger generation of something that's already been established, obviously, it will become more just whatever, you know, it'll become more of a pastime like baseball is, I think. Like a common thing in society, like people play. It already is that. It's like a game. People just play like casually. People have poker nights. It's like it's on TV program stuff, like episodes of TV shows, people having poker. It's known. It's a known thing. It's not like a random thing. Do you know what I mean? It's a known thing. It's got a lot of history. It's just a pastime. You can't end it. People always know what it is. But you might find some backlash. It might take some like random political scapegoat thing. The funniest, like, I don't know if it was funniest, it was like a good movie, you know, like Hand was, there's this guy, I think he was like 85 or something. He had a hearing aid on, glasses, couldn't really hear properly, couldn't really play, you know, Italian guy, but really nice guy. And, you know, you check his cards, you couldn't really see his cards. And basically, but he was a very tight player as well. He'd pretty much be aces. And basically, someone raises him, and he re-raises, and the guy just flat calls. And it comes Jack 10, 3. And the old guy bets, the other guy re-raises, and the old guy goes all in, and then this guy calls. And he shows 2 jacks. The young guy shows 2 jacks. And the old guy goes, oh, like, mamma mia, you know? I've got the aces. I've got the fucking aces, you know? And it comes deuce, 5. And the guy's, you know, about to ship the pot to the guy with the jacks. And he's like, fuck. He goes, look, aces. And it's ace 4. He's made runner the wheel. And he won the hand. It was like 700, 800 with a big pot. And then because he was old, he couldn't read his hand properly. He thought it was aces. I mean, that's how he stacked the guy with top set. And imagine how the guy with top set felt. He felt like he'd been struck by lightning, like the world was against him. You know? How else do you feel when you lose because of that coincidence? Because someone thinks they have aces. And then even though if he had aces, he still would have lost. But it's ace 4.